Hello and good evening from Germany. This is Jonathan Quell Higgins III, streaming live here from Hamburg in Germany. It's a beautiful Saturday evening. Just had dinner, and yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit with you guys about watches. But before we're doing that, a little bit of a private update. I've been away for a week in northern Italy. Was very interesting, very beautiful. We went there for the spring, but what we saw there was not really spring. Now let me try to show you the image. Of course, I can't. Um, Great, well done. Let me check if I can use those on Chrome. And yeah, I just wanted to show you the view from our place. Bad preparation. Higgins, let's try to do it. Okay, now we go. Okay, we have the first tab here. Yeah, we came for the spring. The view from our window the first morning was like that. Then we the next morning the view looked like that. So weather was much changing, and just 2 hours before we left, I had the beautiful view that looked like that here. So where we stayed, they launched some hot air balloons, which really fitted well to the beautiful landscape there. And it was very difficult to leave after seeing that beautiful place. So I'm still full of memories and full of good feelings. We've been there in winter. First time that we've been there in snow in spring, where we could see everything in daylight when the weather was so beautiful. Nice place to be. Northern Italy, highly recommended. Okay, but we're going a little bit off topic. The title of the show that I made was or is that we're talking about that new minute repeater Grande Sonnerie that Patek Philippe just introduced last week. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a recap about what Only Watch really is. So Only Watch is a charitable organization. Of course, I screwed that up. So yeah, sorry for the confusion here. Okay, so Only Watch is a charity which is set up in Monaco. It fights a disease. The head of the charity had a son, and the son died at the age of 21 years of that disease. And so he started then with the creation of this charity that was then brought to several watch making companies, and those made unique special pieces once a year, and those watches were auctioned off then at the end of the year. Big event, record numbers. In the last years, we had breaking record pieces, mainly from Patek Philippe. Patek were there creating very unique pieces. For example, they made a titanium watch, which is really unusual for for Patek, and they made those only pieces, those unique pieces for the charity, and the record bids were always for Patek Philippe's. So now Only Watch was set up for 2023. I think 60 watch companies volunteered. So just for your understanding, those watch companies gave those watches for free. They didn't charge Only Watch, and they were auctioned off. Usually the auction houses didn't charge a premium. So it was all a charitable event just before Christmas. Now in 2023, suddenly AP, who were also big donors for the charity, fantastic unique watches, announced that they pulled out of the Only Watch auction, and that rose a lot of eyebrows. There was a lot of speculation going on. Only Watch then announced that the 2023 auction will not happen, and they will be a subject of a financial audit. And that audit has been finished earlier this year. Apparently, it has been cleared, although rumors are still there that part of those charities are self-feeding, and consequently, for example, AP pulled out, so AP is not present there anymore, and other companies followed them. Patek Philippe went a different path, and they just announced their 2024 model, which they're donating for Only Watch. And I would like to show or discuss this particular watch a little bit deeper with you guys. And I'm pulling that particular watch up here. 1 second. And then we are having a look at who is in the chats. So, okay. So, yeah. So that's a big one. That is a minute repeater, Grande and Petite Sonnerie. I will tell you a little bit about the functions, how it works, and a little bit more about those pieces. But first of all, we have a look in the comments. My friend Thomas Burnett is saying Patek is king. Yeah, Patek is a great company with a lot of history, so you could say Patek is king. There are other aspirants for getting the throne. In terms of watchmaking, in my opinion, there are better companies than Patek Philippe. But here we are talking about a grand complication piece, very high-end piece. So the decoration and the finishing is top-notch. So Russ is asking a nasty question. Earlier on the Escapement show, we discussed a Vanta Black tourbillon watch that was showed at Watches and Wonders, and that Vanta Black dial had a shadow, and we can't find a reply on that. So Patek Philippe is here. I already covered this in 10 minutes. Yesterday's dungeon. Move on, Higgy baby. Okay, we're not going to show that with Mike's the Snake, so everything was well covered. Russ is going away, so you have a great evening, and hope that you enjoy the show with my stuttering a little bit later. I hope that I'm catching up now. So America is here, 5811. America reached out to Patek and extended that I'm welcome on his new show, which is called The Watch Colony. I've been talking to OC a couple of minutes ago for some minutes, but I had to go there. Thank you very much for the invitation. I heard that you covered my beautiful Richard Lange Tourbillon pour le Mérite. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll try to make it on your show in the next couple of days. As said, I've been away and I'm slowly catching up. Crappy Luxury is saying, greetings, fellow Hamburgians. I know that there is another viewer from Hamburg. Other than that, we're a pretty international crowd. So Thomas Burnett is saying hello. Patek Philippe, as a family-owned watch company, Patek Philippe continues to lead the way in the production of minute repeater, every single one of which is personally checked by the president. That is true. Thierry Stern is proud that he checks every chiming, every repeating watch in person, and I think he signs also the certificate in person. Not only that, I learned that each chiming, the audio file recorded and stored at the Patek Philippe archive. So the minute repeater is saved for eternity. So Apes is asking a good question, and I will come back to that question, hopefully at the end of the presentation or the discussion. That is a very good question, Jonathan Queller-Higgins. Will it go for 10 million Swiss francs, the only watch Patek? Very good question. I have my doubts, and I will tell you a little bit about it later. It has nothing to do with the watch, however. So Patek Philippe, I think only watch will struggle this year with the AP connection debacle. Yes, that is one of my concerns. Dodger is in the house and he just joined. Hello, good evening. Hope that you're doing well. I'm gonna meet Mr. and Mrs. Dodger next Monday, and I'm really looking forward to that. JB is in the house. Goldfinger 808 says hello to everyone. Crappy says, ich bin ein Hamburger. I'm not sure if you're talking about the hamburger, the snack, or if you're talking about moving to Hamburg. Anyhow, if you move to Hamburg, welcome, and I'm happy to show you a little bit around. So Apes says, AP pulled out. Yes, AP pulled out from Only Watch, and that got a snowball running. CWC is in the house. Danger Robinson is here. Interesting. Dahl Higgins. What's the carbon tax credit cost on the geocharge? Difficult question. I can't tell you. So Muhammad Ali is in the house. Have a great show, Jonathan. Thank you very much. Thank you all always for your support. I posted the link just in case of someone wants to join me and hold my hand. I'm super nervous today. Not sure why that is. Probably because I feel that I'm not prepared enough, but we will see how that goes. Thomas Burnett, Only Watch have only had their account audited. The other big issues, such as their involvement in being shareholders in the pharmaceutical company that Only Watch donates to, are still shady. That's exactly the problem. That the main company has shares from the pharmaceutical companies that they're supporting financially. So it's a little bit a tough one. I haven't made up my mind. I find it difficult to get a real opinion. I'm all for charity. I'm getting super annoyed when I'm finding out that something is going dodgy. For example, I donated blood for quite some time before I found out that, contrary to what has been told to me, my blood donations didn't go to a hospital or to a blood bank, but it has been refined and then sold for crazy amount of monies, and I didn't receive a dime for my blood donation, and consequently I stopped donating blood there, and the alternatives are rare. So I'm getting really angry or upset when I'm hearing about abuse of charity, and yeah, I haven't decided what is going on. The fact that Patek Philippe is still supporting them, in my opinion, is a positive side. But so Mohammed says we're joining Higgy on Friday. Not sure if he means Monday. So, but we will we will see. CB is saying, "Did you enjoy the white asparagus?" Yes, very much. And for you, for your information, I haven't peed yet. So, Danger Will Robinson says, "Schnaps, Higgy, Schnaps, you're doing fine, Solo. Thank you very much." Schnaps is not having a good effect on me. I'm getting sleepy very well. Whoever got your blood and even paid for it. Right. Yeah, probably that's it. Actually, I have a very rare blood group, so my blood is pretty popular, contrary to my show. Okay, now let's go to what Patek Philippe introduced earlier. Is this watch here? And yeah, not sure if they even indicated a reference number. I think they're just calling it the steel Sonnerie minute repeater. So what you see here is a watch in stainless steel, and you can see here that pusher on the crown, which is not a pusher for a chronograph. The watch doesn't have a chronograph. That pusher here is for the minute repeater. Usually you have a sliding lever, but they opted for the pusher, and the watch is based on a regular model I prepared, of course. I prepared it here on the screen. So this particular watch is based on a regular model, which I hope I'm going to show you here. So that is the 6301P. P stands for platinum, and this is the watch that this only watch charity watch is being based on. So here you can see the dial has a similar layout, but this is a plain enamel dial. You see the email signature here at 6, so it's an enamel dial just like the other one, but the other one is really special because it has a certain structure. But the case shape and the movement, everything is based on this watch, 6301P. The last known price for this particular watch is 1.2 million. Keep in mind that is a normal production, of course limited because it's super complicated and rare, but this is a platinum one, and so this is not a unique piece. Now let's go back to the piece unique, which has been presented here. So just like I said, it is based on the 6301. Only now it's made in stainless steel, and the dial here, first of all, has the diamond baguette markers, which I'm a big fan of, and the dial itself has a guilloche pattern and is then covered with translucent enamel, and the term for this kind of dial is flanqué or flinqué. Patel just called me and called it flinke, so I'm not sure what is really true. No, I'm having difficulties here with a picture. Okay, guys, I'm having technical difficulties here, so I can't scroll down. Here you can see the flanke. What? I'm getting here a subtext which doesn't make sense. Okay, so this is the flanke structure underneath the transparent enamel. So now I'm trying to add OC, and my mouse is totally fucked up now. For you to know, my mouse shows oh my God,
you threw yourself off your own show. I love that.
Did I go? Okay.
Yeah, you were, but you're back now, unfortunately.
Yeah. We can't.
See, it's my turn. It's my turn to see you suffer through the technical difficulties.
Oh Well,
Speaking of suffering, Dodger, welcome to the panel.
Hey, hey guys. I was a bit, concerned that Jonathan was feeling a bit nervous coming back to the streams, and I know what it's like if you have a break from hosting a stream, and even for a week or two, then it's hard work coming back and running a show on your own. And yeah, you probably had the same idea as me, and just come back and give Jonathan a little bit of support.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good when
yeah,
there's a couple people on the panel. Gives you a chance to breathe and do a little admin work behind
Yeah,
the scenes while other people are talking.
yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
appreciate your help. My mouse was giving me a sub menu instead of just a normal click, which freaked me out, but now it should be okay. So, yeah, I was going on a long and boring tangent here about the flanque dial, which is a little bit different than the regular model, and we have here um, those subdials at 9 and 3, which are the power reserve indicators for the normal movement and the sonnerie. So the striking mechanism has its own mainspring barrel and is wound separately, which is pretty cool. So if you wind it one way, it winds up the movement. The other way around, it winds up the striking mechanism.
Watches like this are the reason why Patek Philippe is the king. Sorry, Jonathan. But I mean, look at this.
Yeah, uh, I don't disagree with you. Look, I'm having this ongoing discussion with Patek fanboy number one, Patek Philippe, and we are fighting like bitches over the position of Lange and Söhne. Patek Philippe has a history, and they have a long history of being at the top of the watchmaking, and those pieces still show what Patek Philippe is capable of doing. Um, my issue is a little bit with their standard models, which are not finished to the level just like those high complication ones, and that tarnishes a little bit my image of Patek Philippe.
In your position that you've said before, and correct me if I'm misstating it, but that Lange, even on the entry level models, has a high level of finishing, and they still adhere to the fact that they assemble the movement 2 times when they manufacture the watch. Correct?
That is correct. They are usually not having those two different kind of qualities in the finishing, just like Patek Philippe has. However, they are not famous for in inward angles or internal angles, for example. That is reserved then for Handwerkskunst. So you should criticize me for misstating, because Lange basically has two different qualities,
Okay.
the Handwerkskunst and the normal ones.
I stand corrected.
So yeah, so they have two different qualities, but I would say that the standard quality of Lange is better than the standard quality of Patek Philippe. That is my point.
America 5811 says Patek phones it in on their base models. Unfortunately, Grand Seiko has better finishing than the Calatravas. Wow. Patek phoning it in on the entry level models.
Does he really mean phones, or is that a typo? I learned that.
It's an American term. It means that you're basically not giving it a real effort. You're instead of attending in person, you're phoning it in, as the American expression.
Yeah, the most hilarious part that we had here when we were bitching and fighting over finishing, Patek Philippe and I, was when he stated that all screw heads of Patek Philippe are black polished, which is totally ridiculous. But of course, I prepared something, because we are preparing here shows. And I'm trying to find the picture just to illustrate the point about movement finishing. And here we go. So On the left, we have that top-notch minute repeater movement, and on the right, I couldn't resist from using Patek Philippe's World Time watch just to show how inferior the movement finishing is by comparison. Now, what do I mean by that? I've been already talking about those internal or inward angles, those sharp angles that are clearly hand polished. So the anglage here is way nicer. The angles are sharp, while on the standard model, for example, everything is rounded and leveled out. So it's a very simple movement finishing. I'm informed that Patek Philippe also doesn't do those angles by hand. So this is a machine finishing and probably a machine polishing as well. And I think when you see those two movements, it's like day and night when you see the effort that is put into finishing those pieces. So you have sharp inward angles. You have always also sharp external angles, just like that one here, which is a little pike, a little spike going out. So that is really hand finishing. Those movements are also double assembled and really finished to the highest degree. Now, by comparison, the 240 is really a little bit more simple and pale. Are you still with me?
Yes, we're appreciating the tutorial. Thank you,
I'm
Professor.
here. I'm learning.
Yeah. CB is correct. They cost hundreds of thousands more. Yes, but that is exactly my problem. When Patek Philippe is charging up to 140,000 for the 240 movement, I would expect a little bit a better finishing. But basically, it's the same finishing, just like on the watch that I showed. And in my opinion, that finishing is not of a $140,000 watch that has a perpetual calendar or something like that. So I would expect something better from Patek Philippe, and with that history, I would expect a little bit more effort into that. Gangster says, when I do something twice, it's usually because I made a balls of it the first time. Yeah, the question is it going to be better the second time? But the reason why it's double assembly, it's pretty easy. The hand finishing of those parts are really delicate. And for example, those screws, you can screw up those quite easily. So they are using working screws, for example, for the first assembly, and then finish the parts again, and then put them together then perfectly. So the first assembly makes sure that everything is adjusted right, that everything works. Then it's disassembled, cleaned, refinished in parts, and then assembled again. You guys are pretty quiet.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking. Do they do that every single time, and who's watching over them to make sure that they're doing it twice?
Well, the Germans have a strict quality protocol, so that cheating won't happen in a German company. Not sure about Switzerland, but
By
it's
the way,
a
look
good
at
point.
look at the rotor on the right. The watch on the right has a
Mhm.
micro rotor, and then look at those two really ugly looking screws right on
Yeah.
the rotor. Oh my god!
Yeah, and the finishing is not really something special. Let me pull
Is
up.
that screw? Are those screws necessary? Like I've seen micro rotors before, and they don't have big
Well,
honking ugly screws.
you have to fix that rotor on that round toothed wheel somehow. Probably you could do it from the backside, which makes it then invisible. That is a
Yeah,
good point.
I would prefer invisible.
Maybe
That's just
you
me.
put that into Patek Philippe's suggestion box. I
Doesn't
think it's
does Chopik have two big screws on their micro rotors? I don't think so.
no, they don't. But their micro rotor is a little bit nicer finished. And my counterpoint, if I would be Thierry Stern, that rotor would be even more pale and simple if you remove those screws.
Oh, that's
Because
a silly argument. That's silly. I mean, they're not there. They're not there to add visual interest to the rotor, John.
I would
They're
say
there
so. I would
Wait,
say so. One
please.
second. Let me pull up Lange and Söhne, or yeah.
If they blued them, that would be one thing, right?
Mhm.
If they actually took effort to make them special. But
Mm.
yeah, CB's
Well,
right.
at
By the
least
way,
black.
the picture on the right is slightly lower quality than the one on the right, so it's misleading. A little bit misleading because it visually looks softer, so you're going to think that it's not as good looking a movement.
Both
You're
are
right,
on the
OC.
Patek Philippe webpage.
This is a fucking scam.
Doesn't-
This is a conspiracy
Those are
that
the
Jonathan is
tricks
trying to
of the
perpetrate on us
YouTubers.
to convince us.
Well,
This is you're
but yeah, they could have at least
black
intentionally
polished
presenting a
this
fuzzy
through.
image on the right to mislead the audience into thinking that there are two levels of finishing. This is bogus as far as I'm concerned.
The dirty tricks of the
Well, will
YouTubers.
be.
I'm caught again. Okay, so let me
But you're right, OC. They could at least black polish those two screws. Mind you, black polish
Enough
wouldn't
with
have.
the black
I
polishing.
don't think it would have. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Yeah, that wouldn't work there. Black polish. But
Again, black
but hey,
polishing.
Patek being Polish, right, and me being Polish, it's like typical Polish workmanship. They can make a perfect bathroom and tile a bathroom perfectly, but you'll find two terrible screws somewhere holding the toilet roll on the sort of wall. Yeah, yeah, it's like proper Polish, that is.
Mhm.
If you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
So here, for example, is the movement of a Lange perpetual calendar Lange 1, and you can see that they put a little bit more effort on the rotor. You can see the blued screws that are fixed on a platinum rim, which increases then the performance. Now this is a central rotor and not a micro rotor. I'm just using that example how a beautiful made rotor looks like by comparison.
That's all hand engraved, that rotor, or no?
It is not hand engraved, but it's hand finished. The anglage is hand finished. I asked Lange how they do that graining on the rotor. Here,
so is that cast? Is that cast or is it CNC and then hand finished?
Lange won't tell me, so I guess it's cast. It's kind of cast.
Yeah, it looks cast, and then with a hand finish, maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
look CNC, but
that graining, I would really like to know if that is part of the casting, or if they're putting some extra
it has
effort.
to be. If it's raised, it has to be casting. You can't. Well, only a laser could achieve that, and I doubt if laser.
Well, you could negative engrave it, just like they do with the tremblage dial, for example. But Lange wouldn't tell me. I've asked, but you can see here the platinum rim outside of the rotor, which is then fixed with those blued screws to make OC happy.
I am happy, and I'm happy with the platinum rim job that's part of the rotor.
You had to mention that.
By the way,
let's not talk about rim jobs.
Quick question, Jonathan. Why do they use 21 karat gold in the rotor rather than 22 karat gold? Is that because it's ever so slightly lighter, and there's a platinum base on it, so it doesn't need the extra weight? Like I've seen 22 karat gold rotors
harder as well.
Really? Okay,
slightly harder. I don't know if that makes a difference in the hardness, but 21 to 22 is slightly harder. 22 is extremely soft. It's almost.
I think they're just trying to jip us.
Like
I think they're trying to jip us of 1 karat of gold.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah.
So I would love to say they're stingy, but Daughter is spot on. The problem is with gold alloys, and this is not fine gold. So this is alloyed gold. So 21 carat. Help me out. It's more than 750, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
21 carat. So it is a small amount of other metals that are added. So here we are talking in Germany. What is 21? 18 carats is 750. So 21 would be around 850 or 820. So
50.
yeah, but the higher the amount of fine gold in an alloy, the softer it is. And particularly when you add a platinum rim, and if you have those fragile arms, then it's getting just too soft in terms of torsion, flexing, and everything. You want this rotor to perform perfectly. However, in theory, the highest amount of gold would be the more efficient, because you need the weight. That is why in high end movements those rotors are made out of gold alloys. But platinum is even
You've got to be
heavier.
careful because the more weight, there's a fine balance, isn't there? Because depending on the type of bearing you've got, the higher the weight, the more damage it can and where it will cause to the bearing that the rotor's on, I
The more
guess.
stress it'll put on it. Yeah.
That is true,
Yeah.
but the first mission of a rotor is to be as efficient as possible, and then you
Yeah.
adjust the bearing to that efficiency. So it would be counterproductive to make an inefficient rotor just to save up the bearings.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But it's interesting. I find it really interesting that Lange will not explain the production process to you. I mean, it's quite simple, isn't it? Is it lasered? Is it CNC'd? Or is it cast? But I find it quite surprising they won't admit to, well, giving you an answer to that. I'm really surprised.
Send me that picture offline, Jonathan. I know I have a Longa expert in New York City who's like a VIP, and I'll send him the picture and I'll ask
Okay.
him, and he'll get the answer.
You'll get
I'll
the
do
answer.
that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So get the answer. Get the answer. So.
Yeah, and please let us know the answer. So
I
again,
will.
so I was fascinated about that graining on the rotor of my Lange watch, and I really wanted to know a little bit more, but they refused to give me an answer. It looks like small holes, but actually, if you look at it closer, it seems that there are little balls on that surface. So it's quite interesting. And yeah, I would like to learn how that's been made. Yeah.
I go with cast, to be honest. Knowing CNC and laser, I've got to say it's got to be cast to get the balls on there because
Mm.
a CNC machine cannot achieve that. I know for a fact. And yeah, it's either, yeah, I'm going for cast. It's got to be cast.
CB has a good point. 21 karat, probably because they wanted the color. Could be. It's also a known fact that gold alloys are then gold plated later on, particularly when it's not on the case. So, for example, all kind of rings that are soldered together are then gold plated again, just to get a uniform color. So, but it may be that case have probably added platinum. I think he's talking about the gold alloy. You can add some platinum for additional strength or rigidity. Okay, let's go back to that beautiful Patek Philippe, Grande Sonnerie, and minute repeater. So, okay, yeah, we are back here. So I tried to explain the case material is steel. The dial is flanqué enamel, transparent enamel on guillochage, and you have that dodgy email writing still there. Patek very proud of labeling their enamel dial with the French word émail. I would like to point on the case shape. In my opinion, that is my favorite case shape. Very elegant, very sophisticated, with that big groove in the middle. I call it the 96 case because it just looks like a 51 96, but with a more elaborate finishing here on the case. That is my favorite case with Patek Philippe, and I hate to say that Lange is not doing such elegant cases just like that one. So that's absolutely gorgeous. Now, one question that came up is having a steel case material in a minute repeater. Patek Philippe is very proud of their sound of minute repeaters. Patel previously said it. The president himself is checking every single minute repeater himself, and only when the watch is having his approval, then it's signed off. I know, for example, that platinum is controversial. Some makers say platinum is counterproductive for the sound of minute repeaters, and many watch companies refuse to make steel minute repeaters because they say that the minute repeating doesn't sound good. And so I would like to know how this particular watch sounds by comparison. Unfortunately, nobody has heard it so far, but I found a video of the 6301 in platinum, and I would like to show play the sound of this particular minute repeater.
Wow, hats off to Jonathan. You've really done your research for this show.
Well, last second. It's all last second, but I'm trying my best. So let's hear, and at the beginning you see Mr. Stern with his father checking minute repeaters. And let me know if you can hear the sound.
Yeah, can you maximize it?
Yep, trying.
All the way on the right.
On écoute.
Can you hear the sound?
Yeah, we can hear the sound. Watch rejected.
I didn't hear that at all, so that was a reject.
But what you're hearing here is this particular striking watch has 3 gongs. Usually they have 2. But here Patek is going one step further, and it has 3 different gongs. You just could hear that when it chimes the quarters of the hour. You can hear 3 different sounds.
I don't know if anybody else can hear that. I can't hear a thing, Jonathan, to be honest.
OC, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Okay.
Oh,
So it must
must
be your end. Okay,
must be me somehow.
so what you hear here is the chiming of the hours. Then that triples gong is the quarter hours, and then you hear the gongs for the remaining minutes. So, for example, if we have 8 o'clock 47, that means 8 hours, then 3 quarters, and then 2 minutes. So here you can hear now the hours, then the minute with this, which is that 3 tone sound, and then the minutes. Okay, I'm not gonna show you the finishing and everything. Very interesting video by Patek Philippe. I'm gonna post the link in the comments just in case that somebody wants to research that. Yeah, I'm just restarting the video because, in my opinion, the most important or interesting part is the two presidents listening to the chiming of the watch, and then we will further continue.
On écoute?
Unfortunately, they didn't show us the minutes, but you could hear the hours and the quarter hours, and I think it's a pretty impressive sound. Now, what went wrong with this show? Last minute, I uploaded Russ's video because he has a minute repeater, a brand new minute repeater by Patek Philippe, and he has cathedral gongs. So people may ask what a cathedral gong is. So those metal gongs that that are responsible for the sound on a cathedral gong, they're extra long. So the chime is even deeper and yeah, more intense. So that is also something special that that Patek Philippe is doing. Cathedral gongs. Okay, so let's go back to the watch that I'm trying to discuss.
Russell has the same style guilloche dial, correct?
Yes, he has the same guilloche dial, but he doesn't have the sonnerie. So his watch is only, and only with exclamation mark, is a minute repeater only.
I heard that watch was about 800,000 euros. Is that
Russ's
correct?
watch?
Yeah.
No, Russ's watch, as far as I know, is around 300,000, which is still a lot of money, but it's not 800.
Okay.
So let me show you Russ's watch, and I'm really upset that that the uploading of the video on YouTube it didn't work. So that is Russ's watch. Also flanque dials, transparent enamel on guilloche. His watch is platinum, as far as I know. No, it's white gold. Sorry, white gold, and you can see the finishing here of the movement over here.
CB says it's 430,000 euros. So we both had it wrong, but I was way over, so I lost.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so I got that wrong. I apologize. I thought it's 230. So, but CB is right. The problem is that those prices are not here on the Patek Philippe catalog, as far as I can see. One second. Usually it pops up here somewhere.
By the way, is the official language of the Elite Horology channel German?
Well, I'm here in Germany, and my location service always goes to German then. So yeah,
just checking.
Yeah, so just play the short from your I'm here on Jonathan Quell Higgins, but I can't find that video. And oh, it's under shorts. Okay, now we got it. Thank you very much, Patel Philippe. So okay, now I found it. That here we have the cathedral sound of Russ's watch. Hopefully you can hear it.
Very cool.
Yep.
It's a watch that makes noise.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Whoa, I didn't get that last part. That was like 16, wasn't it?
No. So 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Right.
2, 3.
That's 3 quarters, right?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay,
So
14.
it is.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep. So
12
it's
hours.
12 hours, 3 quarters, and then 14 minutes after
Mhm.
the 3 quarters, which brings you
Exactly,
to
yes.
59. Yep.
So it's not a coincidence that the watch was set at 12:59 because that gives the maximum enjoyment for the freaks.
And also
with
drains
repeaters.
the mainspring down to 0 with only 1 use.
Probably, yes. Yeah. So what I really like is the contrasting. Now we are having strap talk again. The contrasting strap here in orange. I think that gives it a nice touch compared to the other strap that came with the watch, which is then matching color. 1 second, I'm putting it up here.
It's very, I like the orange is very classy because it's not a bright orange and it's not a glossy orange. It's a matte alligator. And the blue contrast stitching makes it look really, really nice. This is a little plain. It makes it a little too monochromatic. I like what Russell did with it.
So CB says the watch doesn't use the mainspring for the chime, and he's spot on. So you have that little lever at 9 that you push upwards, and that is winding the chiming mechanism. So it doesn't use up the power of the normal spring, contrary to the Grande Sonnerie. Now what is a Grande Sonnerie and Grande and Petite Sonnerie? And maybe you can explain that to the punters.
Me? What Grande Sonnerie is?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, so let me try to explain it then. So when we are having 1 second, I have to pull that up as well. So a sonnerie is en passant, which means a flyby chiming. So not only by pushing or moving that lever, you ask the watch what time it is. A sonnerie watch is giving you a chime at the full hour and at the quarter hour. So, for example, the Grande Sonnerie here at Patek Philippe gives you a chime on every full hour. And if you set it to Grande Sonnerie, it gives you also the quarter hours. So, for example, when the time reaches 12 o'clock, it chimes 12 full hours. And then when the quarter hour is then after 12, it chimes 12, and then 1 triple chime for the quarter hour.
Wow, every quarter hour does the full time. Yeah, just not the full time, but just the quarter time every quarter.
Yes.
Okay.
So wait, not that that we misunderstand. It chimes the full hour. When it sets on Grande Sonnerie, it chimes 12, ding 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 ding, and then it chimes the quarter hour.
Right, but it does that every quarter hour.
Yes, and it chimes after the third quarter hour. It chimes 3 times.
Got it.
On Petite Sonnerie, it only chimes the hours.
Got it. Hey, I'm learning here.
Yeah. As far as I know, it only chimes one ding and not the 12 hours, for example.
And are you saying that on Grande Sonnerie, it does use part of the mainspring to power
No,
the Sonnerie?
no, I tried to explain that previously. It has two mainspring barrels and it has two power reserves. So you see here the power reserve for the sonnerie, for the chiming, and on the left at 9, it shows the power reserve for the normal movement. So it has two different energy sources. So when it chimes like crazy, it doesn't wind down the normal movement.
Very good. And Patek Philippe adds in the comments that Grande and Petite sonneries chime on their own, but a minute repeater requires activation by the user. That's very helpful to know. So that's the difference between a minute repeater and a sonnerie.
Exactly. So
Sonnerie
here
chimes
you,
on its own. Minute repeater requires a manual intervention to initiate it.
yeah, and the most important function is the silence function because for obvious reason, you don't want to have this happening all the time during business meetings and or visits at the opera. I know a Kiss concert wouldn't be that
Yeah,
sensitive.
you wouldn't be able to hear it, but yeah, at the opera, which I frequent 2 or 3 times a week,
Mhm.
this would be very annoying.
Yeah. So here, that is the little lever that you can put in silence when you move it to the right. The middle is then Grande Sonnerie, and if you move it to the left, it is Petite Sonnerie. So 1 second, let me try to show you where the lever is.
By the way, lever is German for lever, just in case you're
Okay.
listening
So
at home.
it's called lever. Okay.
No, I'm just-
Yeah. Me and my English. I'm gonna forget that until next time. So here you see the lever.
I like it when you say lever, actually. But,
Okay.
and this has diamonds, diamond baguette indices.
Diamond baguette indices, yes. And yeah, so one question is how will it sound because it's a steel case and not a platinum. Then the question is, will this add value when it sounds worse? I had that discussion with Tanzil a little bit earlier because he said, yeah, probably they're doing the stuff that they can charge for in precious metals, and the ones that they give free away free of charge then in the inferior metal. But matter of fact is steel Pateks with high complications are super rare, and those are all unique pieces. And I told him no matter if that sounds like crap or not, it will be very collectible because it's a one of a kind. The other people have to buy the platinum one. Now we're coming to the potential value. Like I said, the normal watch is around 1.2 million CB. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is my last information. So the one with the black enamel dial is 1.2 million. And now the big question is that piece unique being auctioned off for charity. How much will that go for? Apes was asking, does that go over 10 million or not? And that is a really difficult question because we all know that the market at the moment, the watch market in general, is low. Also, we saw on the recent auctions that the estimates have gone low, and the results are not like a year or 2 years ago. I think you could observe that yourself as well. I think you've been discussing auctions in the last couple of weeks.
It's been a while since we covered an auction, but I think we reviewed one yesterday. It had a whole bunch of cool stuff in it. I can't remember if it wasn't Monaco.
Was the Monaco Legend?
No, it wasn't that one. It was one that was upcoming.
Okay. Yeah, but as far as I know, the recent results are not that overwhelming. So the market, even for those special pieces, is a little bit down. And then the big question is, how will that scandal about Only Watch affect the result of that auction? And I'm afraid it will affect those
You
prices
think?
negatively.
Let me ask a question.
Hmm.
Patek Philippe did not announce their Only Watch submission until right now. They didn't, because the auction was postponed, they never actually revealed which watch they were going to put in, correct?
Yeah, there were speculations that they wanted to have that chiming watch on at the honor of Thierry Stern previously, but those are rumors. Patek Philippe didn't confirm officially what they had in mind to put on that charity auction.
Yeah, because I actually went to the exhibition, the Only Watch exhibition in New York.
For 2023?
Yes, for 2023, and I saw all of these. I saw all of the watches there, actually. But the only watch that wasn't there, no pun intended, the only watch that wasn't there was this, the Patek Philippe submission.
Mhm.
You know,
Did
they were holding that till the last minute.
Yeah, yeah. So did you? I think the coolest watch, and no disrespect towards Patek Philippe, and I'm happy that it's still there, is the H. Moser.
Mm.
Have you seen that
Yeah, I saw all of these. Yeah.
with the little panda?
Yes, I mean, yeah, I saw it. I mean, I
You're not a
most
fan?
people, no, I'm not a fan of that. I like the AP a lot. The Baltic was actually really nice. There was a submission that used the silicon wafer dial that was very, very impressive. I can't remember which one it was exactly,
Mm.
but all these are really cool in person.
Yeah. So at the moment, we don't have official confirmation who will be back and who won't. All we know is AP is not participating anymore, and yeah, I hope that that the auction will be a success. But I have a little bit a bad feeling that it won't go. So Apes is trying to nail me. Jonathan Quell Higgins, how much do you think this will go for? My guess is 8 million.
What?
So below 10.
Get out of here. That's outrageous.
Well, previous unique pieces from Patek Philippe Only Watch were selling way higher. I think I remember one going over 20 million.
Hmm. It's a gorgeous watch, no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
it
is unique steel minute repeater.
I don't like the fact that it's steel. I mean, I want my exclusive, rare Patek Philippe piece uniques to be in precious metal. I don't want them in steel. Steel is beneath them. Steel is an entry level material.
Yeah, but that's super special. If you see very special pieces from the past Patek Philippe, the ones in steel are even rarer than the one in precious metal. So whenever Patek goes down that route and make a high complication in steel, collectors usually go crazy.
Interesting.
It's the market. It's the market.
Yeah,
So Apes is asking which will win, Recep Only Watch or Patek Only Watch. Recep Recepi made a unique piece. Let me check where that is. Recep Only. Let me try to find that for you. So they made the anti-magnetic Recep Recepi, which is also a unique piece. And here we are. So that's the amagnetic piece from Recep Recepi. I think the Patek will beat Recep Recepi. So as far as I know, even the case material is made out of anti-magnetic alloys, and I think even parts of the bridge. It's so long time ago that I forgot. Beautiful movement finishing, of course. Recep Recepi better than Patek Philippe, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Patek Philippe a lot better. I don't even like this example I like I like every other show. I like we were reviewing earlier on the Watch Colony channel, the
Chronomet
the CC.
Contemporain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful one. And I also like the one that that they just came out with the ruby indices. That's kind of
Oh,
nice
that
too.
is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But
But
Mhm.
this one reminds me of like a Longines sector dial. It's not. It does. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't.
you're not wrong, because it is a sector dial, yes, and it's a very primitive dial, emphasizing probably the tool watch character of it. So one
Right.
second, just let me show you. Mhm. You wanted to say something?
No, I'm just gonna say that I think you're doing a fantastic job with the show. It's extremely educational and informative. I think people should like the show. Please like the show. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification icon. Hit it to all so you know anytime Jonathan goes live, or anytime Patel Philippe goes live with his what's it called, the something report, Lux
Lux report,
something,
yeah.
Lux
I
report.
I hate that guy.
Well, he does deploy his narratives on this channel, and it's content, so it's good, free content.
So let's see, which one do you like better, the rose gold with the rubies, or that one?
I like. Well, you're talking about the plain sector dial looking one, or the normal?
No. You said you discussed the one with the ruby.
Oh, I
The
like.
rubies on the dial.
Yeah, I like this one better.
This one in platinum with the diamonds.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah, we agree.
Now he has two versions of the Chronometra Contemporain. It's not the two, but the one, I think. And there's a black dial with yellow gold case. Maybe it's rose gold. And there's a platinum with blue printing, and then there's the gold with black printing, or it's a black dial with white printing. And I think I don't like the platinum with the blue printing.
Yeah.
Or I should say I prefer the black dial with the white printing.
Yeah.
How about that? I don't, but because you never know, I might get offered one in the future. Hey, I'm gonna let you run with the show because you're doing such an amazing job. And guys, hit the bell icon, hit the thumbs up, and if someone wants to jump on the panel, drop the link.
Yeah, 1 second.
All right.
I'm dropping the link. Don't you have a wrench? You could do that yourself.
I can do it. Want me to do it?
1 second. No. I did it already.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much,
right.
OC.
Take care.
I apologize for being so confused, but
no, you're great.
Thank you very much.
I learned a lot. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Say thank you to Jonathan in the chat, everybody. Bye.
Okay. Thank you very much, OC. I really appreciate, and I apologize for being the confused guy today. I'm not sure what is going on with me, but yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, we were discussing Patek Philippe, unique piece for only watch, and I wanted to come back to one thing that we discussed, I think, on the last show before I left, and of course I didn't prepare the link here. We were having a view on a very special Rolex watch that has been sold by a famous collector. And where is the story? Oh, he removed the story now. That's interesting. Periscope, the investigative journalist, he was covering the John Goldberger split-second Rolex that was auctioned off at Monaco Legends last week. And now I'm trying to find this particular watch because Periscope apparently removes that story. So today I reached out to Periscope and offered him to come on my channel because I found that story really interesting, and I wanted to have a deeper discussion with him. I saw that Tim Wright covered the story. To be honest, I was not really happy how Tim conducted that. Sounds petty. I was not really happy with the way that he made that show. Basically, he was just repeating what Paris was telling us, and yeah, I would have hoped that there is a little bit more from that. So we had this watch that was offered by John Goldberger. For example, Perez was stating that the crown at one point has been replaced. So there are a lot of questions about how this watch was made together. Interesting part was 12 pieces are known. He compared the Rolex logos on 9 of them, and all of them are different. So there are a lot of question marks that are around that watch, and I think Whole Milk already said it, that John Goldberger has a history of selling questionable pieces. When we are carefully wording that, the so-called unicorn turned out to be a Daytona white gold case with replaced pushers. Nobody knew exactly, or apparently the bezel was for a steel one, and the movement apparently was also probably from steel Daytona. So a lot of combining, Frankensteining happens in the vintage market, even with high-profile collectors. And I would like to have a discussion with him about the manipulation of things. For example, he went great lengths into analyzing dial manipulation on Paul Newman Daytonas, which I really found interesting, and I would like to discuss that. One of my favorites sold for a surprisingly low price, and I would like to pull this particular watch up, because I would like to discuss with Periscope the GMT Master 6542, the one with the bakelite, however you pronounce it, bezel inserts, because I would like to ask him if he's aware of any manipulations of those bakelite bezel inserts. Now, of course, I can't find this particular watch, which was my favorite lot on this auction. Okay, let's try to search it. 6542. Here we go. Search function sometimes works faster. So I was a little bit surprised about the condition of the bakelite. Usually it shows more cracks. I don't know if it has been also optimized, manipulated, whatever. I feel that when people are manipulating logos on the dial, patinating of the dials, so-called tropical dials, they won't even stop with bakelite. Interesting is, you see here there are signs of scratches here or damages, but for some reason the crack doesn't go through. So I would like to know if there is some manipulation going on with those bakelite dials. Manipulation certainly goes on with tritium here, or with radium, that is a radium dial. And I would like to discuss those kind of things with him. And Dodger correctly says, vintage is a pit of vipers. And yes, you can't be careful enough. Main problem is that vintage pieces that command really high prices, that of course people try to manipulate them to get more money. What I really liked about this watch is the red GMT Master logo combined with a depth rating that is super rare, even on those rare non-crown guard GMT Masters with a bakelite. So you have rare, and I was a little bit surprised that it only went for 200,000 plus premium. So, Paris, if you're watching that show, I hope that you can be convinced to come on my channel. We have here some very high-profile collectors who are who certainly will ask a lot of interesting questions, and I think this discussion is worth doing that. First of all, to educate everybody, and certainly to reveal some of the dirty tricks that are happening with the vintage market. So Thomas Burnett is saying, Dodger, it often depends upon which brand you are buying. When it comes to vintage, Omega, for example, have parts available for many watches that go back to the 1940s. That is correct. That is not the case with Rolex, unfortunately. And so, yeah, if you don't have a spare part, what do? You try to manipulate. On the other hand, there is a long discussion, even if you have a spare part, a brand new spare part for an Omega from the 1950s, is that watch then still classified to be a vintage watch, or is that a modern replacement then? So, yeah, very interesting questions, and I would like to learn a lot. I'm not the vintage specialist. I know what I love. My favorites are those non-Chron Guard Rolex sports models, among special Patek Philippe pieces. And yeah, I would like to learn a lot from Paris. So Paris, if you're listening to this, please hop on or get in touch with me back, and hope that we can have you on our little channel. So last drop of the link, just in case somebody wants to join me on the panel. I've prepared 2 more topics, but I don't feel that I'm really good today. I apologize again for the confusion, for the stuttering. I'm a little bit like a fish without my water. Probably the first show after the break. Probably the fact that Patek Philippe is not there, or OC is not there anymore. So yes, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that it was entertaining and a little bit educational. I hope that you learned a little bit more about Only Watch, about this special Patek Philippe that they put at auction, and how those Sonnerie repeaters and everything work. I try to catch up on the topic on the next show. Hopefully I'm gonna feel a little bit better, because I would like to compare that 6301 Patek Philippe Grande Sonnerie with the AP Grande Sonnerie that has been introduced 3 years ago with the beautiful Anita Porcher dial. So keep on watching. Please like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Thank you very much for your support, and hopefully next show will be a little bit smoother and a little bit better. Until then, I'm sending you my best regards. Thank you very much to Dodger and to OC for joining me on the panel, and I'm ending that stream right now.